they're really good. Libras are really good at making everyone feel really happy. So as their partner, you don't feel special.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what you give me is exactly what you give to everyone else.
Literally.
Like, why should I feel special? Hello.
Hi, people.
Hi, friends.
Of the world. Of the world.
You're seeing us on a weird day.
Yes. Yes.
But we are here.
Yes.
How's everyone doing? Venus retrograde started. It's been like a week. How's it been going? Everyone getting their ass kicked by the goddess of love.
Yes, I am. So much has been going on in my personal world, y'all. It is crazy. It is crazy. How much the things that I love and the things that my people love and value have been fucked with.
Yeah.
Already.
I know.
In this short period of time. And we got how much more time of this?
Like a month and yeah. Oh man, it's rough. I would say it's rough. Literally every other day I'm seeing more breakups. Like at first it started with breakups that I'm seeing about people I don't know.
Yeah,
the
like
celebrities.
the celebs.
And then I'm hearing about breakups within the circles.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh my God, I can't say anything. I can't be like, it's because of Venus retrograde. That's a very personal thing that they're going through.
Right.
But it's just so funny how literal astrology is.
Right.
And I wish I could tap in and be like, taking your feelings out of it. It really does make sense because Venus is retrograding.
Right. And that's the only thing that is helping me rationalize a little bit all of the craziness that has been, just been going on.
Yeah.
It's like the things that everyone loves is getting fucked with a little bit right now.
Yeah.
So beware.
Yeah, beware. And it's like your relationships too. It's not just romantic, it's friendships, relationships with everyone that you love. Because Mercury retrograde is coming up too.
Facts.
And I just genuinely feel like because this Venus RX is in Leo, I would assume that a lot of people are feeling like, well, I feel and maybe we should just take a step back from that. And instead of being so ego driven when it comes to our relationships, tap into that Leo energy of doing something nice for yourself, getting in touch with something that you used to love, your inner child. Just let your creativity and your energy out in other ways rather than your relationships. I feel like it's a good time to, again, be introspective for your relationships rather than being very much in that Leo energy of let's talk about me and let's talk about why I'm not being fulfilled.
Nitpicking.
Exactly.
And going hard on why you aren't pleasing me in all the ways that I deserve to be pleased. And
all those things are valid.
It's so true. You deserve that.
You do, but I would say it's maybe not the time. It's a time to be introspective about that.
Yeah.
And not act on it.
Yeah. And also in general, I feel like personally, whenever I'm feeling too upset about something in my own relationship, it's probably because I haven't been serving myself. You know what I mean? I also haven't been taking care of myself in the way, and I'm over here getting mad at my partner, being like, you need to be providing for me when I'm not even providing for myself in this moment.
Right.
So I want everyone to maybe be cautious of that too and just be better in your relationships of hey, when we are frustrated with our partner sometimes, it's maybe not even about them, it could be that you need to go hang out with your friends or you need to go see your family or you need to do something special for you. And it's not even really about your partner.
I agree. And sometimes I genuinely feel like a lot of people get confused about the timing of okay, Mercury RX, Venus RX, what am I supposed to do? What am I not supposed to do? And I would feel like the best tip I would give to me, little version of me, if she asked me about this, I'd be like, listen, if it's something that you've been pondering and thinking about, something that's been irritating you before this RX started, okay, maybe you're ready to deal with it. You know what I mean? Because you're revisiting your relationships. You're it's all the re's. That's what RXs are, retrogrades are. Revisiting, readjusting, rethinking. So if it's something that you were thinking about prior to this RX, then I would say, okay, hone in on that. Go in. You know what I mean? Communicate it with them. Mm-hmm. But if it's something that comes up for the first time while you are in this RX period, take your time. Don't move too fast. Don't tell them everything you feel right now. Mm-hmm. Let it marinate a little bit during this RX, because this is the first time you're essentially thinking of this person this way, thinking of the career this way, whatever it may be for you, whichever house it's hitting for you, Leo. That's where it will be affecting that area of life. So I just genuinely feel like the best pro tip is, if you were thinking about it before the RX, you can go on ahead and do something about it during the RX. If it's coming up for the first time during the RX, sit with it and reevaluate it a little bit more before you actually go in for the kill.
Mm-hmm. That's great advice. That's really great advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like that. Always ask more questions, I feel like, during these periods of times. Like, if you think you know the answer, push yourself further. Well, why? Yeah. How come? For what reason? For now. You know, like, just think of all the questions before you start to act on the things, because we can get so caught up in our emotions sometimes, and it just takes over of like, oh, I'm so mad, and like, fuck this person, and you start acting on like that emotion, but you don't know the why behind it. You know what I mean? You don't have the know-with-all or whatever to say like, hey, I was actually triggered in that moment, and I was triggered because of this, and this is how I can make that not happen in the future.
For sure. You don't have all the facts. You don't have all the information. You can't really make the smartest decision if you're just running purely off of emotion and how this is making you feel. Mm-hmm. You need to be able to blend beautifully your thoughts and your feelings together, and then come to a decision when you have all of those things presented to you. And I feel like when you're Venus RX in Leo, all it wants to do is scream how it feels, and everyone is in that position feeling that way, so no one's really actually in the best place to be listening.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
No, it's so true.
Everyone is in their main character era of getting their feelings hurt, and their feelings are the most important feelings.
Exactly, which is why I feel like everyone would do well to reflect inward and ask themselves how I can be serving myself during this time. Yeah. Even though I'm demanding everything from everyone, and like we said earlier in this episode, you have the right to do that, and you keep on demanding those things, but you make sure that you're giving some to you too, and not just expecting it from everybody else, if y'all are following.
Definitely.
Actually, no, before we talk about some astrology stuff, I feel like we must talk about the biggest news that has happened in the world, which is that aliens have been confirmed. Obviously, we have always believed that aliens are real, but they just did this huge.
I know, but Maya, they did this do you not remember? They literally they confirmed alien life last year.
Slipped out some papers, which like not everyone.
But the government said it.
Yeah. I know. I feel like.
I'm just like, what are they? Like, they keep coming with the same thing, though.
I know.
They already said that. They confirmed it. The government confirmed it last year.
People are still in disbelief, and like them talking about it and getting clips.
And it's not even all they have, though. They're giving us
I know.
They're like giving us sprinkles of what they have.
Littlest.
They literally have these aliens locked up. You know what I mean? Like, show us the real tea. Give me the real footage.
I know.
You know what I mean? They're just like, ooh, this is what they look like. And like, stop. I want that 4K. I want that camera. I want you to go inside wherever you're holding them. The holding cells of the aliens.
Right. I want to talk to the aliens.
I want YouTube Live. Like, you know what I mean? I want someone to go in there and interview one of them. I just feel like I'm annoyed because it's like, we're back at the first step. We confirmed. You already confirmed.
Right.
Like, what can we do now? Like, what new information are you giving to us now? Because now I'm getting irritated.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I mean, I don't know if this was actually done in the thing, but apparently, word on the street is the aliens are pushing our government to tell us about them now.
I love that. They're fed up.
Exactly, because they're fed up and they're like, yo, you're fucking off your planet. Like, straight up. And the aliens are like, we about to come down here and intervene with some shit.
Oh my God.
So you need to tell them before we tell them. And blow up their minds
No.
because some people would just not be able to
of course.
compute.
I mean, some people
if people
barely
came down
even
here.
understand and want to actually come to terms with the fact that there's bad people on this planet who are bad things. People are like, oh, if I don't see it, it's not true.
Right.
Like, yeah, America is the #1 place for sex trafficking. Get that through your fucking head. Like, land of the fucking free. You know what I mean? So, of course, they're not going to believe aliens. They're going to be like, oh, my God.
Right.
And I just think it's so funny that the aliens are, like, doing that, like what we do when we find out someone's cheating within the group. If you don't tell them, I will. Like, you know what I mean?
You have 5 days before I tell them.
Honestly, I feel like that is so hilarious.
Isn't
and
it?
if I didn't already know that the people in power and the government are the biggest bunch of pussies ever, the aliens have you wrapped around their fucking... wrapped around their finger.
Yeah.
Like, and of course they do. And I love that some threats are being made. Because I genuinely feel like they think we're stupid. Like, the government thinks we're fucking stupid. Like, all of these things we know.
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't do a good job at hiding it.
Right.
Calling everything a conspiracy theory.
Right.
So I'm ready for it to be presented. And I'm ready for all the fucking living in
non-believers
ignorance bliss to be going haywire. You know they're going to go crazy. The mass hysteria.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all this ignorance, it has not helped them in any way. If anything, it's going to make them go crazier.
Bruh. They almost have to come with the proof because of how many people are not going to believe.
Well, also how many people are brain dead from what they're feeding them and the jobs and how the school system makes them a bunch of followers.
True.
Like, they've made them essentially the perfect society for non-believers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And now the aliens are like, you know, that perfect little society that you made? Everything's fine in the world and, you know, aliens don't exist and it's all a conspiracy theory. I'm going to need you to burst their bubble right now.
Right. Tell them the truth.
Literally. It's like Santa Claus is not real. That's what America is right now. America's a kid that's bubbles getting bursted when their parents tell them Santa Claus isn't real, except aliens are real. And here's a picture of one that we have.
No, you're so right. And they're going to be so mad.
Yeah, they are.
Just like finding out that Santa Claus isn't real.
No,
but it's weird because they're actually gaining something in this instance. They're not losing something.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Well,
you would think that you would be happy to learn that there is other life outside of Earth.
The Americans don't even want to fucking...
No, you're right. They don't even want to know about
they
fucking...
They call people from fucking other countries aliens.
Yeah,
you
that's
think
true.
They're going to be happy about the real aliens? They're going to be like, are they going to take our jobs? No, Bethy.
I'm a fucking
They're not gonna fucking take your job.
Aliens don't work.
They have like 10 brains the size of half of yours.
Oh my gosh. Imagine being so capitalist brainwashed that when you see the aliens, you're like, they want to take our jobs.
Don't nobody
They're
want
here
your
to
fucking
take our
job.
wives and our jobs. That's what they always say.
Literally. That's what I'm saying.
Lord.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's hilarious. I can't wait to sit back and observe.
Yeah.
One of these aliens wants to come on the pod. You're so invited.
Right. Oh my gosh, I saw a really funny TikTok actually of this guy. He was like, you know what? Now that the government's talking about the non-human forms, I think that's what the government has been saying. He's like, is aliens a slur? I need to know before they come down
No,
here.
literally,
Like,
what do
I'm
you
not
wanna
trying
be
to
called?
offend them.
For real.
And I was like, you know what? That's funny, but it's also true.
Yo,
if
what do you wanna
aliens
be
is
called?
a slur, aliens, I don't
And what do they speak? You know what I mean? I want to know, how do we communicate with them?
Right.
Is it like, do you
telepathically?
Do you have
do all of them?
Like, do we wear a bracelet that allows us to connect with you telepathically? Do we each get our own alien? That's your alien buddy?
I love that.
Everyone gets an alien buddy.
Oh my God,
you know
my
what I mean?
alien
And it's kind of like a student exchange that we would do. I teach you about Earth, you teach me about life outside of Earth, and we become the best of buds.
Oh my God, can we go on field trips to their land too? That would be very fun.
I know. Ailey buddy.
Like a Halloween Town moment.
No, I would live. Do they talk shit about their government? Like, you know what I mean? What if I don't want my Ailey buddy to be someone who's like high up in the government? Right. I want a normal citizen. Your
average Joe Schmo.
Yeah, the hardworking alien. Oh my God.
For sure.
This is actually insane.
It is.
But it's also insane because it's like they've just been talking about it, and I'm telling you, they confirmed it like last year. Everyone goes crazy, and then next year they're like, so now we want to confirm again that we really mean it this time, and they do exist. I'm like, I think they're doing it this way because they want to get different groups of people to believe in it at different times. Yeah. Because it probably is such a it's big news. Mm-hmm. It's for some of us that already believed in it, it's not that big of a news. Right. But I think it's like, I think it's a way for them to control mass hysteria if it's slowly being fed to society, and slowly becomes word of mouth rather than you hearing it through the government. Mm-hmm. It's shared via memes, your friends, shows, and then the government. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Easier to digest.
The government essentially puts that final nail on the coffin and it's like, they're real. And it's not the first time you're hearing it. So you've made your amends with it, so people maybe won't be as scared.
Yeah, for sure. I think, it's just...
Because, like, why else are they...
Yeah.
Why don't they just turn off?
I feel like they're about to present them to us because they were like, yeah, you know, they were admitting that they've been testing on them, that they've had them in like their labs and shit. Again, which people who know about aliens know all this shit. Yeah. But they were trying to convince the American people or the government, the US government, because it was actually like some former CIA and like military officials like speaking to the US government about it, right? And they were like trying to convince them that like all aliens are good, which is not true. There are definitely some nefarious aliens.
Like you guys,
come on,
are all people good?
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like actually, like you really think about it. Is all your family good? Like you know what I mean? There's always bad people and good people. Of course, there's gonna be bad aliens and good aliens.
Right, but this one like official was like trying to convince like, oh no, like all the aliens are good because if they were bad, based on all the bad shit that we've done to them, they would have retaliated on us by now, and they haven't. And I'm like, that's not good reasoning.
You're telling me you've been torturing them and doing really bad things.
Straight up.
That's what I heard from that.
Straight up. And they haven't retaliated. But I
hope they do with some of them.
One alien species. Like, you haven't fucked with them all.
You know what I love about this? You know what I freaking love about this is that the stupid 1%, the stupid, filthy, disgusting rich, you think the aliens want your stupid little money? They don't give a fuck about your money. How do you, like, you are in the same level as any fucking Joe Schmo billionaire. Literally. You can, like, you're not gonna be able to win the aliens over with your stupid money. They don't give a fuck about currency. So I feel like that is something that probably terrifies them too. They can't buy out the aliens. Right. Because the aliens don't give a fuck about your money.
Right. That only has value here.
Literally.
That doesn't
And you
transfer.
can't nuke them either. You know what I mean? Again. It's
right.
Like all the power in the world, in this world, isn't enough for aliens.
Right.
All the money and power in this world.
Right. And also,
here I am.
With how much fucking technology they have, they some of them could have killed us.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I mean, with all of the documentaries I've watched, and I watched some amazing documentaries, they say that aliens are honestly baffled by the intelligence and creativity and the individuality of humans. They a lot of them are fascinated by us. Yeah. And how intelligent we are and how we're able to use our mind to create things. That's what the aliens said.
Yeah. That's what the aliens say. They love us. They want to be friends.
So clearly they see the value of us, the human race, and our planet and everything, you know, that is able to live on this planet. You know? Water, plants, oxygen.
Right. Well, I feel like aliens understand better than humans that we are all a oneness. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they believe that they see us, so they know that there are other entities in the universe, you know? So they also probably therefore know that we are all connected in the universe. So like if something happened to Earth, like their shit would probably be fucked up too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I can't imagine that.
It affects I know it affects the universe in some capacity. And who's to say that, you know, we believe that there's alternate realities and universes, and that you can dimension hop. I fully believe in that. And I believe that you have different Earths far away from our Milky Way. You know what I mean? Living in this freaking universe with humans on there too. And I can't help but think that the aliens have seen humans or other aliens essentially burn down their planet. They've seen people do that.
Yeah.
The older ones, I'm sure. So they are coming here because they've probably seen it before and they don't want it to happen. You know what I mean? I genuinely feel like they've experienced it and they just don't want the same mistakes to be repeated.
Yeah.
Well, they're time traveling.
100%.
So they're seeing people make mistakes in the future and the past. Like, I fully believe that.
Oh, yeah. No, I 100% believe that, too. I mean, with how they're able to travel through time, like, they could fucking do anything. They could go to the past, they can go to the future, like, they could do whatever they want, you know?
Yeah.
I just think that, yeah, how do we know that, like, Earth isn't their sun or something like that? And if we were taken out, that literally their livelihood would be messed with. Like, could you imagine if one of our planets just fell out of our sky?
No,
like,
for sure.
we would, I'm pretty sure we would die.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
Because it's all, like, a balance.
It's all connected in some
there.
capacity. And, I mean, also there's accidents, too. Like, if some sort of comet got this close to Earth.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the fact that it hasn't.
Right.
Like, I can't help but think that's for a reason. Like, we're needed here for a reason, just like the aliens are needed here for a reason. Everyone has their purpose. So I fully believe that based on their calculations, they saw that these fucking government officials were about to tear down our fucking world. And they're like, yo, it's time to let them know.
The people need to come together.
Literally, actually. Yeah. And it's just honestly crazy to me how much the government, the military, every bad person on this planet wants to hide all of this information from us. And it's all just, again, for money, greed, and power. Like, just even thinking about the concept of free energy and how Nikola Tesla was the one who created free energy. And then it was literally, his documents were, like, taken from him. Yeah. Because he essentially found a way for there to be free energy where you didn't need to use fossil fuels.
Oh, wow.
And that would have essentially taken a lot of money away from a lot of powerful players.
Yeah.
And they didn't want that to happen. If you are interested in that, just Google Nikola Tesla and you'll see that he created free energy and he died in a very weird way. So do your own research.
Fuck. I wonder... When
that
he
exists.
died, I wonder if it is correlated to when the aliens first came down.
Well, actually, it involves some power players in our banking industry.
Oh.
So that's all I can say.
Oh my god. Okay, the other freaky thing about the alien talk was, like, there was this one of the former CIA people or whatever. Our government was asking the former CIA guy, they were like, okay, well, who is researching, like, these aliens? Like, who's doing this? They're like, she was like, are these government officials? And he was like,
are they doctors?
He thought about this,
them?
like, very, like,
oh, he was trying
politically, and he was like, there are some government officials, and then there are some essentially non-government officials in there as well.
Like who?
Like the billionaires.
Of
like
course.
The BlackRocks, like the Vanguards,
Yeah.
like all those fucking...
makes sense.
Yeah.
All the people
All the
that
people
have
who
all
are
the
really...
all the people that are running the world.
Exactly,
you guys.
all the people who are really pulling the strings.
Like, the government is not running the world. You know who run in the world.
Right.
It's the 1%. And they're actually usually the most private people ever. They don't want their faces to be known. They just kind of want to be in the background, making the law, running shit. And the government is just a part of their big old scheme.
Yep.
And I'm not saying all the people in the government are bad. I do think there's good people who are there for the good of the people.
Yeah.
They want to serve the people of each country. But then there are the people there who are genuinely just working under the 1%.
Who are the puppets for the rich.
Yep.
Because they quite literally pay them to be in those positions. And they pay billions of dollars for their campaigns.
Oh my God. Speaking of, did you see Mitch McConnell space the fuck out?
Oh my God.
Like, he looked like he was having an aneurysm.
He
like,
looked unwell.
No. It looked like
he looked like he was having, like, his mind
Oh,
really...
first, he didn't know where he was.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I mean, you guys, I'm sorry. Like, oh, he's old, so sad. But that guy's a terrible fucking human.
No, he's a terrible man.
And he should not be making any decisions for anyone. Well, even when he was in a good state of mind, he shouldn't have been making decisions for everyone.
Right.
Especially now that he can't tell where the fuck he is.
Right.
Please get that man an old folk home.
Oh my God, yes, immediately.
And take with him all of his friends in the government that are also way too old to be making any sort of laws, telling anyone what to do.
Right.
Making any decisions.
Correct. I'm sorry. If you're on some type of like Alzheimer's or like dementia type of medication, which I know some of them are. I don't know who, but I know some of them.
There was that doctor in the White House. Do you remember?
Yeah.
They were essentially talking about how they treated lots of people in the government who deal with exactly that, dementia, Alzheimer's. A lot of things that you would think would prohibit anyone
Yes. Yes.
who is making any sort of laws for a country.
Yes. And
to be in office.
Right. I'm extremely empathetic because those are like terrible things to have to go through with like your mind. But yeah, I just have to say, those people should not be making any type of laws for me. I already feel very boldly that people over the age of 65 should not be in office because what are the chances of a 65-year-old knowing somebody like me or younger?
Yeah, honestly, you're out of touch with reality. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Above 70,
right?
You're out of touch with what this world needs right now. Right. And I feel like at that moment in time, you are so against change. Right. You know, there's very few old people who are open-minded. Right. I think it just comes with age. Yeah. And when I'm 70, tell me I can't make laws either. Right. You know what I mean? 'Cause I don't know. I probably won't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Right. But yeah, it's just insane. And that's all some real shit. But yeah, when I saw that shit, I was like, oh my God. That motherfucker right there is not real. Genuinely, I was like, oh my God, he's freezing. Like, it's crazy to me. Yeah. It's crazy to me that that's normal. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, even Joe, our president. Right. Sometimes I'm just like, Joe. Oh my God, he's not. Joe. Just take him to sleep. That man is tired. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. He like fell the other week. I was just like, God damn. It's just sad.
It's stressful for me. I mean, okay, honestly, I think about it, and I'm like, it reminds me, obviously, of my grandparents, you know? Like, it reminds me of my grandma. And, like, yeah, respectfully, I would not want my grandma making decisions for me. Yeah. You know, like, they just have an older style of thinking, and I feel like our generation especially, and, like, our parents, too, like, they're very progressive. Yep. You know? And they've taught us to be that way, and we're just thinking in a very different way than the older generations, I feel like.
Absolutely.
And so we need to start having laws that match the youthful energy that we have in this country.
For sure. And, like, I'm sorry, just even about, like, I wouldn't want my people, like, that's embarrassing to me. Like, these are the people running my country. Like, they're not even running themselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, they're not.
So true. It's so true. It's so true. I
How can I feel empowered watching you?
I don't. I should be inspired, but I am
Honestly,
not.
Let's get 3 aliens in the office. Let's get
There probably already are.
Actually, this is what I want a panel of the aliens.
Yes.
And I want to be able to ask them questions. Like, you know what I mean? We need an alien panel.
Yeah.
Have you experienced, you know, another planet like ours?
Right.
Have you seen them make the same mistakes? How long did they last? Right. You know what I mean? Like, I have genuine freaking questions.
Why are you here? Why do you keep coming around?
If you could tell us 3 things about our government.
Right.
What would you say? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
I want to know these things.
Would say.
Genuinely.
Right?
They're going to say they don't respect you. They don't give a fuck about
you.
They
think you dumb.
They think you're fucking stupid.
They poisoning you. They lying to you.
Literally. They don't want to see you win.
Right. They're your biggest hater.
Literally biggest hater.
Straight up.
God damn.
What if the aliens came in and they were like, They said all that, right? And they're like, now you can choose.
Do you want us to run this shit?
Right.
I'm actually freaking crying.
You know, just putting it out there.
Yep.
Putting it out there. We don't know.
We really don't. We really don't.
I mean, we already said that, you know, half of them are probably already running the government.
Yeah.
Maybe some bad ones.
For sure.
Because no good shit's happening up in there.
Nope. None at all. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's time for some toxic Twitter time.
Ooh.
Which we hadn't had in a while. Like when you hear hi, we talk about like tweets that are a little messy. And we just get into it. So, oh my God. Okay, so I was on Twitter and I saw a tweet. I'm not even going to say her name. It's not something she wants to be known for. It's not something to be proud of. She tweeted, "No one is a girl's girl. You're 30. And someone responded and said, "Okay, I'm a woman's woman." And I love that, and I retweeted that, like, and a lot of people did. And I'm just like, bitch, what? So does that mean, like, what, with age, you just become more outlandish and, like, more hoey, and you have less of a moral compass when you're older?
Right.
Like, make it make sense. I really am not understanding what she's saying. She's saying when you get older, you don't need to be a girl's girl because you're like 30 and like, why are you still worried about girls? It's like, you know what that saying means.
Oh my God. I'm so stressed. I'm like, just say you don't have friends and go. Just
say
say you're not loyal and go.
Just say
like,
a man is the priority in your life always.
Right.
And that you will always choose a man over any girl. Say that.
Right.
And say it proudly.
Oh my gosh. I can tell whoever wrote this never had a good female friendship.
Well, obviously, because she was probably not a good friend
Right.
to anyone. I'm
No,
sorry.
for
Like,
sure.
I hope no one treats her like a good friend. You know what like a good friend would? Because I genuinely feel like people like that, they better be surrounded with people that are like-minded.
Oh, for sure.
And that don't value you when there's a man around.
These are the girls who are like, I'm better friends with guys. Guys are better friends
Well, yeah,
to me.
she's a pick-me.
It's like,
She eats wings and watches football and gets along with boys.
right. Also, oh gosh, this is just so offensive. Like, I really don't like this tweet because it's like, what do you mean? Like, you don't like to have deep, meaningful relationships with other women? You don't protect other women in your life?
That's exactly what it means. And the problem is that she doesn't even know what that feels like because she doesn't know herself. Like, people that don't, I would say women that don't want fulfilling female friendships are the types that don't want to be seen deeply. You know, deep female friendships are the ones that, you know, you go through everything with. You have the ups and downs with. They see you through all of your chapters of life. They see you down bad, and you're able to be there for each other. And I feel like people like that, people who don't believe in being a girl's girl, they're intimidated by that type of depth.
Yeah.
Because A, they don't know how to show up for other people like that, and B, they're scared of letting people in to be seen like that.
Yeah.
And it's honestly sad. It is. It's really sad to me. It's pathetic.
Also, I'm like, I just know men treat you bad because I feel like it is my girls who remind me of how awesome I am to not let men speak to me in this way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like remind me, yes, of my worth in certain situationships when I'm forgetting it, you know? And I feel like this type of language and behavior lets me know that, yes, there's only men in your ear telling you that you don't need these kinds of relationships in your life.
I also feel like you're probably not very emotionally mature, and emotions probably scare you. That's why you probably get along better with men.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all men are emotionally unintelligent. What I'm saying is that a lot of men are scared of their feelings, and I feel like these girls gravitate towards men like that, and they have the rep of being the cool girl. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The cool girl friend, because their feelings don't easily get hurt. They're probably not going up to guys and being like, don't treat me like that, because they let everything go. It's never that deep.
Right.
And guys easily accept them into their friend group because they're one of the boys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They don't need to talk about their feelings too much.
Right. They just get to brush it off.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't hurt my feelings, really. It's not that serious when, like, no, actually, it is.
Yeah. And I honestly loved, that this woman responded back and said, okay, I'm a woman's woman. Because, like, it has nothing to do with age, baby. It has to do with loyalty. It has to do with divine feminine energy. Mm-hmm. It has to do with wanting to see other women win and protecting other women. Because when you're in the similar place, you would expect them to do the same for you.
100%. And I also just feel like no one is going to have your back more than, I mean, they shouldn't, than another woman. You know what I mean? I feel like men, as we know, they unfortunately can be predators. You know what I mean? And women are going to have your back and protect you. And to me, that's what I think of when I'm like, oh, you're a girl's girl. Like, I can come to you when I'm in need of help. It isn't always just like, oh, my best friend, and like, it's us girlies together. Like, it could even be a stranger, and I'm still gonna do some girl shit for you, you know?
I feel like it's about knowing the kind of depth that you need and knowing that only another woman can provide that for you. That's how I feel. That's what I feel when I feel like I'm safe around girls, is knowing that they see that soft side of me and they want to protect it because they also have that soft side to them. A lot of men, they don't know that. They will understand it if they care about you, try and understand it if they care about you, but they don't see the sensitivity that us women carry. Because they don't have it within them. We have to explain it to them. Other women, they just get it. They're supposed to get it.
Yeah.
But guys, girls don't get it, you know? And that's where there is that miscommunication. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you should always like a girl more than a guy. What I'm saying is, don't you feel more comfortable with me? And shouldn't I feel more comfortable with you? Because we see it in each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That divine femininity.
And we're going to have more of the same struggles and situations in our life at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, like, yes, naturally I'm going to think that we're going to have more things in common and I can come to you about a situation rather than a man, because what does he know about my life? Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's just, honestly, it's like speaking two different languages when it comes to a man. Like, I have to explain it to my boyfriend, and it's going to take a little bit longer. Right. That doesn't mean I won't explain it, because I know he loves me and he will understand me as soon as I explain it to him. But with a girl, I don't have to use as many words. We are speaking the same language. I already feel safe.
It could just be a vibe. It could just be a look. It could be a feel. You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes guys don't.
They don't get it.
They don't catch up on that because
it goes over their head.
Yes. I mean, they have to be in touch with their feelings, you know what I mean? And the other energies around them. Yeah. And unfortunately, there's a lot of men out here who aren't empathetic or aware enough to do that. Can I also say, I feel like this woman did not have a good relationship with her mother.
Well, absolutely. Or it could really be her father, too. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've come to realize daddy and mommy issues, they're very complex. It could really, like, it could be because she didn't have a good relationship with her mother. It could also be because she wants to be accepted by her toxic dad so much that she's choosing to idolize the male relationships in her life rather than the female ones.
You're right.
So, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying
there's other options there.
It could be all of the above.
Right, because I was just out here thinking like, wow, she did not get the love and attention that she needed from her mama, which is probably why, you know, like she doesn't crave it from other women now, because like, she doesn't feel like that's a safe space for them. But you're so right. Like, the daddy thing could be equally as true.
And then there's the anomaly of someone who came from a perfect family.
Right.
And they just ended up being a demon of a human.
Right. Who taught you these terrible ways?
No, seriously.
Man.
It could be a lot of things, honestly.
It really could.
I mean, she could have been done wrong by, like, her middle school best friend. And after that, she was done with women. Right. She was like, fuck being a girl's girl. I'm a fucking hoe.
Right. Because, like, so what if maybe she was a nice friend, but all her friends were, like, them shady friends who, like, sleep with your boyfriend, you know? Yeah. So it's like, fuck being a girl's girl. Yeah, also, I'm judging you a little bit for how you picking your friends. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, but absolutely. Birds of the same feather clock together,
Flock
whatever the
together.
fuck. Yeah, that's it. No, truly.
Yeah.
Your friends are
It's questionable after a while.
are very much you.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of when you were cooking the other day and on your podcast, the girl came on and she was like, yeah, this is like the second or third time I found out I'm in a relationship with the guy who's already in a relationship. And you're like, what? What, girl? After the second time, you have to start being like, what am I doing wrong?
For
you know
real,
what I mean?
ass.
Like,
okay,
there's
first
something
time,
about your energy.
an accident. Second time, okay, it's looking a little fishy. Third time, I'm like, okay, honey. Okay, honey, it's time to put the dating app down.
Right, like I'm attracting these men for some reason.
Well, I would actually think if you attract a shady man like that who's already in a relationship, it could be accidents, sure, but I think what makes you someone that these types of men want is someone who doesn't ask questions, who plays the cool girl, because you're easier to manipulate. Someone who doesn't get deep too soon, someone who doesn't ask too many questions, someone who's not so curious. These men want someone that is more low effort because they already have a girlfriend. The side piece needs to be easy.
You ain't wrong.
You know what I mean?
Not wrong.
They're very simple-minded. They can't keep track of two deep relationships.
No, they're not.
Some of them want the main course to be easy, and they make the side piece crazy. Really, it could be a combination.
Right. Combination. Have you heard Drake doing that?
No.
There's like this little clip of him going around. I guess he was like rapping somewhere in the UK, and there's a part in the song where he goes, combination. And so people have been like making memes.
Oh my God, I love.
And it's pretty good. Okay, y'all. So I wanted to bring back the list of zodiacs and how they mess up their relationships. So how the signs mess up their relationships. Okay. We've done some of these already, so you just got to look back through the podcast.
You just got to watch the rest of the
house.
Okay.
But today we are starting with Libra and how Libra messes up their relationships is by being too flirty with others and cheating.
I'm sorry. I feel like that is so accurate.
Yes.
Like, I thought it was just going to say by being too flirty, and it's an and cheating. Like, putting the nail on the coffin of, like, it's not just that you're a little bit too flirty, it's that you're also cheating. And
no, you
I
take
can't but
it
think
there.
of Tom fucking Schwartz, his Libra stellium. He's cheated on Katie multiple times. He's literally too nice and friendly with everybody. So she wouldn't call him flirty. It's like your overly niceness, your ability to make everyone feel the most comfortable, it ain't cute. You know what I mean? Like, can you tone it down when there's other people around and be that source of comfort and joy for me? I feel like we talk about this. Yeah. They're really good. Libras are really good at making everyone feel really happy. So as their partner, you don't feel special. Yeah. Because you're like, what you give me is exactly what you give to everyone else. Literally. Like, why should I feel special? Why should I feel special? And then after a while, I feel like if you try to talk to them about this, they'll get even more friendly with people to kind of show you, like, listen, that was just me doing my thing. This is flirting. Right! No! You want to see flirting? I'll show you flirting.
No, you're so right. They double down and get performative with it.
I know.
You know? They're like, oh, is this hurting you? Is this making you jealous a little bit? Like,
watch this.
Watch this.
No, for real.
Like, they will take it there, which is funny because Libras are really such lovers. Yeah. But because they are such lovers, they want to give it all to everyone and they want it to be given all to them.
I mean, genuinely, that's why they need to be with someone that is equally good at flirting and being on and social. Because again, if they're with someone who sees that social flirty side of them and is intimidated by it, and for them it crosses the boundary, they shouldn't be with a Libra. Right. Because Libra needs to be able to do their thing. Truly, you will suck the joy of life out of a Libra if you tell them, stop being so friendly and social. They're like, this is what I'm good at.
Right. They're like, this is all I know. This is what makes me happy.
Yo, for real.
So why would you take that away from them?
It's just so funny that it says how the signs mess up their relationships. Cheating. Like, no shit, cheating. Like, they could have kept that out.
No, I feel like they just had to dig it in there and remind people that
all the way.
It doesn't just end with the flirting. Like they take it there.
Cheat.
They finish the job. You know what I mean?
Not all Libras are cheaters.
No, it's
Your
so
Honor.
True. Yeah, no, it's so true.
But they
and not all of them finish the job.
They're just very good at also blurring those lines, those boundary lines. So I feel like you need to set them straight. And Libra, if those boundaries that, you know, your partner has set for you don't sound like something that you're okay with, you guys shouldn't be in a relationship. Go separately.
Yes.
Because a Libra will talk themselves out of being in trouble so often.
Right.
That the partner will feel like they're getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
They're like, well, what you said makes sense. But it just still didn't feel right. Like, it didn't feel right that you were hanging out with my friend the whole night.
Straight up. And that's the thing that really hurts. I feel like when Libra is like really in their element, they don't notice that you're there. You know, they're very interested in everybody else.
Yeah.
And the attention that they are getting from them. They're like, I get that attention from you all the time, low key.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hurtful.
Air sign behavior.
Right. I hated being with my Libra man because he always had a little wandering eye, and I was like,
yeah. They're just such whores. I just love them.
I was like, how do you make me feel so special? And then I turn and literally
You're
see
doing
you
the
doing
same
for
thing
everybody.
for everyone else. For real. Actually. No, for real.
I thought it was just us. The pain.
Oh my God. Okay, so how the signs mess up relationships. Next we have Scorpio. This is how Scorpio messes up relationships. By lying and keeping secrets.
By lying. It's true.
Honestly, is that what they be doing?
Yes.
No, that I feel like a lot of Scorpios, I don't know. I don't know about the lying. I feel like everyone lies. If anything, I feel like we're too aggressive with the secret keeping. The lying, like, I feel like Scorpios are, like, disgustingly truthful. You know what I mean? And they almost expect you to be okay with the truth that is really ugly and it's not okay. That's the truth.
Yeah.
The keeping secrets, yes. Mm-hmm. The lying, it ain't me.
Yeah.
I don't like to lie, and I feel like that's the main thing that makes Scorpios is how brutally honest we are.
I feel like sometimes
if we're talking about toxic ones,
Scorpios, yeah, they be like manipulative.
Okay, the manipulative,
and then they be like lying to manipulate. And like sometimes I feel like, okay, hold on, how am I gonna phrase this? Because I was gonna say I feel like they be lying sometimes to like catch you up in your own lies. So they'll make things up to be like, haha, see, I caught you. But I can't really think of another good like example of how maybe sometimes they be outright lying unless they're like obviously very toxic.
For sure. Exactly. And I feel like the same could be said about every side. Yeah. That you're lying. But like I feel like that's not the Scorpio. Just manipulation, hell yes. Keeping secrets, hell yes. I feel like Scorpio will manipulate you to feel better about what sneaky shit it is that they're doing. You know, they want to see that you're also moving funny so they could justify how much they've been keeping secrets and how they shouldn't have trusted you. Yeah. You know, like the secrets come with protecting themselves, I feel like, with Scorpios. So they genuinely want to justify their behavior and how they're unwilling to open up to you. You know, and like that's where that manipulation comes from. It's like, okay, well, I need to manipulate you to see who you truly are. And you're not opening up to me fast enough. And once the other person figures out that you've been manipulating them and really not opening up, they're going to feel like, well, there's no relationship here if there isn't a trust. And Scorpio's like, I've never trusted you and I'll never trust you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I was thinking, and I was realizing when I was struggling with it, I feel like some people will see manipulation as like lying, like that they're synonymous, but they aren't necessarily, you know? So I think that's why I was like getting confused, because I think sometimes when you're manipulating people, like you obviously have an intention that you want them to feel, but you're right, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are lying.
Yeah.
You know, but your intention is clear that you're trying to make them feel some type of way.
You're trying to make them feel uneasy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's what Scorpio is. That's why actually your relationships fucking end, Scorpio.
It's more controlling.
Is because you try to make the other person move the way you want them to move by feeding them little bits of information and seeing how they react to it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people, if they know the full story, they'll maybe be able to tell you how they really feel and why they did what they did. But Scorpio, like, we're such, like, reading between the lines. We want to catch you. You know what I mean? We want to catch you and not so much give you time to plan out how it is that you're going to react.
How you can say back to me why you're still good or whatever.
Exactly. And the secret keeping for sure. I feel like Scorpios, like, you need to get comfortable sharing your secrets with your partner. Like, that's the one person that's supposed to hold it down for you. And if you don't trust them enough to share these secrets with them, like, they're not your partner. They're not someone that you should be with. You know? Because it feels so heavy to be in a relationship where you're keeping secrets and there's a part of your past that you're not telling them because you just don't trust them. Like, also, being the partner, like, that would devastate me. Like, you don't trust me enough to tell me this shit?
Right. I think, too, for some Scorpios, again, when they're, like, being toxic, it's like their whole relationship could be part of the secret, you know? And it's like, that can also become very negative and too much pressure for the other person in the relationship. Like, I can't be the secret anymore. Yeah. You know? And, like, Scorpios, it's not fair of you to be keeping your relationship secret from all the people that you say you love if you also love them. Yeah. You know?
Absolutely.
Okay, how Sagittarius mess up the relationships. So by neglecting our relationships, being forgetful and not paying attention to the small things. Oof. Wow.
How do you feel about that?
Wow. I feel a little hurt. I feel a little seen by that. Neglecting and forgetting about them for sure. Because I feel like sometimes I'm just like thinking big picture, so much caught up in my own world that I'm not checking in as much as I should with my partner of like, oh, you told me this little thing, let me follow up on it. Right. You know what I mean? And, like, that's the kind of stuff that slowly breaks down relationships. Yeah. Like, it sounds so basic, but, like, you know, if you don't ask, like, your partner, like, oh, how are you doing today? Or checking in on the little things, like, that's going to start to eat them up.
For sure.
It's, like, basic human things, but I feel like sometimes Sag gets so wrapped up in their own world and what the next adventure that they're going to go on, or, like, whatever plan they're working on that they may never finish, that they forget about the other things, important things to other people, you know, because they're kind of being self-centered in the relationship.
And let's be honest, I feel like Sag follows the fun, and sometimes these things aren't the most fun in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like the little things. Like, you know what I mean? Like Sag wants to go on a big adventure, and they want to travel with you, and they want to have a deep discussion about the most random thing. You know what I mean? Right. Like these aren't like the normal small talk conversations in a relationship. So I just feel like it's out of their normal element for Sag. I mean, this is why Sages are not known to be the best monogamists, you know? They want to see what feels fun, and they want to tap into that energy whenever they feel like it without feeling like they have to. Yeah. Which I feel like in a healthy, committed relationship, you need to be giving your partner steady attention. You need to be checking in on them. However long or however much you want to, it depends on the relationship. Sag doesn't do things in a normal way, which will put other people off that are with them because other people are comparing them to their other normal relationship, and Sag is like, this isn't what I do and this isn't what I give, so we need to figure something else out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we all know how much Sag hates being seen, so the partner bringing it up the Sag won't take onto
They'll
that
run
well.
from that. They don't like
They'll
that.
be like, why are you trying to tell me how to live my life?
Yeah.
And how often I should check in with you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, it's so
I
true.
provide so much more to this relationship than
Right.
this stupid boring shit.
Right.
You
No.
know? And
no.
then boom. They're like,
Okay, as you were talking, I was like, yes, yes. And it was making me think of Sag's Jupiterian energy. And maybe it's like, oh, we do grandiose things with
Yeah.
like our partner of like, oh yeah, we do big trips and these big events. And we're like, oh, aren't you so happy that I went all out on your birthday or whatever? And then, yeah, we forget about the little stuff because it's like, what do you mean? I just gave you the best birthday
Yeah.
party ever. Like, why do I have to follow up about this like meeting that you had? You know?
and it's wild because I feel like to Sag, the big things matter.
Exactly.
But that's not necessarily always what the partner maybe wants, which leads to the relationship ending because the partner's like, I just needed the little things. You know what I mean? And Sag is like, I thought that was bullshit.
Right. Like, who cares about the little things? It's all about the big shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this podcast episode. We hope you enjoyed.
We hope you enjoyed. This was kind of all over the place, but
was.
the alien talk I really enjoyed.
I really enjoyed.
And I love talking shit about the signs,
Yes.
even when it's ours.
Uh-huh.
We love y'all so
So
much.
much.
Rest up this week. The full
Mhm.
moon is full
It's gonna be a little
mooning.
heavy. It's gonna be
Okay.
a little heavy. We're gonna link our
Yes.
socials somewhere around here.
We love you so much. See you later.
Bye.